Everyone, Joe here from ActionX. Welcome to What's in the Tube, or welcome back if you have waited a little bit of a long time for our Doom Patrol Season 4 predictions. I apologize for the delay. As you can tell, my hair is a little unkempt than normal. I believe the last thing I recorded for What's in the Tube was last week ago, I want to say. Yeah, it was, I think, the Nancy Drew review before we went on break. Yeah, I believe that's the case. Yeah. I apologize. It's been a pretty hectic time here. Here at ActionX, we've been focusing on, it's the holiday season, so I'm gonna be honest with you. I got really sidetracked with that. Between Thanksgiving and my sister's birthday and Friendsgiving and everything else under the sun, as well as prepping for Christmas, as well as prepping for stuff for next year to do. There's a lot to do, and I think I let the hiatus take a little bit more out of me than I thought because I had plans to do stuff and then those stuff got pushed back. So I do apologize for that. We're gonna try and get back on the money here. Because we are winding down with the year. I think we only have 10 more What's in the Tubes to record for the year's end, and then after that words we focus on 2022 content. And honestly, as much as I can't wait for Christmas, I can't also wait to start up in the new year. It's sad to say that Thanksgiving I apologize, did hit me a little harder than I expected. But hopefully now we'll be going straight through the remaining of the year, finishing up Nancy Drew, finishing up Walker, finishing up rookie episodes for the year, finishing up our last quick impression, as well as doing the Doctor Who reviews, which we had to punt back to next week because also I did not finish the edit in time, as well as I am nowhere near done with Series 6, so we have to yet to record it, and I would like to have a consistent flow between the reviews, so I'm going to punt it back as much as I can until Series 6 is fully recorded as well. So Doctor Who will return soon. This year, it'll just be a little bit more delayed than normal, but hopefully it'll have a more consistent run between throughout. But we'll see how that goes. However, with all that being said, if you don't care about Doom Patrol, here it is, the Season 4 predictions. We have been confirmed for the 4th season. It was renewed back at DC Fandom last month, which feels like forever ago. Between fandom and now, a lot has happened, personally and also just in the world of fandom. Obviously all attention right now is on, Hawkeye and No Way Home right now. So everything else doesn't really matter anymore, to be honest with you. For us, it's a different norm. But for Doom Patrol fans, it's been great. I talked about last time around when we did the season 3 review that was the best season, in my opinion. Not the perfect season. It is definitely the best, just standard wise. But of course, if you look at the individual qualities, some things were lacking compared to previous seasons. But the other things that it improved on was enough for it to take the spot, in my opinion, in my overall rankings, which is currently 3, 1, 2. So, but anyway, continuing onward. So season 4, when does it come out? There's no production date yet, but currently I believe they are working on the Dead Boys spinoff that is currently in development, as well as they're doing season 4. No words on when season 4 is going to enter production, but if we've had a Doom Patrol season every year since 2019, so I'm going to guess we're going to be getting it a little bit later next year, because debating on how they're going to handle certain things. I could also see them punting it back to the very start of 2023. So in my opinion, my personal bet, we will get it on November of 2022. Worst case scenario, we'll get it at the very start of 2023. Should post take a little bit longer than expected to get, but we'll see how that all goes when we get closer. Normally that sort of thing doesn't get announced really far ahead of time. It's just here's the announcement, new show, new season in about a month. That's my prediction on that. How many episodes? Probably 10 again. 10 seems to be the right number. Doom Patrol season 1 was amazing and it was fun. It was quirky, but 15 episodes, there was only so much you could do with that format. Season 2 had to be reduced with the pandemic, but it was always meant to have 10. Season 3 had a proper 10. So I believe season 4 will stay consistent with 10 episodes, hopefully. I wouldn't mind more as long as the quality's still there, but for me, I personally just want there just to be 10 episodes, tell your story, and that's it. Which story-wise for the season for the show itself, like most superhero shows that enter a season 4, it's time to switch things up. Season 3 definitely ended with here is the new status quo, here's the new character directions and where we're gonna go. it's still good. I want season 4 to still be the same core Doom Patrol we love, but as well as I wanted to be a new thing, like for hopefully for new fans to come in, because season 3 was a transitional season. We were wrapping up a lot of the connections we had with the original premise of Doom Patrol. Now we're just going to the wacky sceneness of actually being a superhero team. Also, I forgot to mention, we will be spoiling everything about season 3, so if you have yet to see season 3 of Doom Patrol, turn away. This is not the video for you. Go do everything else with season 3 that we've already produced and can come back to this. So anyway, continuing my thoughts on it, the story, for me, it has to be, you can take it fresh. You can take your own spin on it, because I think the thing that a lot of people, at least for me, about seasons 1 to 3, the main common thing is that they don't want to be a team. They don't want to be a superhero team. They just want to fix their own shit and deal with their own shit and then move on from it. Finally, in season 3, we got the conclusion of that, and now they kind of have this new mindset of like, this is where we are individually and independently. Let's start to actually like do some good with the abilities we have that not that many people have as well. And for whatever season 4 ends up being in terms of like just villains and such like that, because again, the Doom Patrol mythos for me, I'm still discovering as I go. Again, I'm not a big comics fan. Well, I respect the comics. I do collect them. I just don't read them as consistently like George or Alan would. I respect them enough. I know what the foundation is, but beyond that, I really don't know. So I don't know where you can quite go with the villains next season. But I would love it for them to like have another, like, it's weird, like, because like seasons 1 and 2 we had a singular villain, and then season 3 it was kind of a weird combo of like, there's a team, there's still a single villain, then there's a pair of villains. Like, I would like it for their villain next season to connect with the story, because obviously you kind of have to both hand in hand. I wouldn't mind it being someone that is going to be a physical challenge for them, because season 1 and 2, like, they were like immense god level, and season 3 we didn't really get anything in terms of like a big final battle. In my opinion, you don't tend to get them with Doom Patrol. Like, there's no like real big final battle. It's usually outsmarting them, or you figuring out a clever solution to not have that final battle. I would really like it that whoever the season 4 villain is, it requires them to have this big final showdown, because this is just something that, like, I don't think most superhero shows besides the Disney Plus shows have managed to achieve quite yet, in my opinion. Because again, I'm very well aware you have a limited budget and it's a superhero show, so that is, now we have gone into so many at this point that you can only really spend so much. I still would like it like we have a real proper final battle. And I know that's kind of difficult because our current cast of characters, and again, who knows who they're going to add on for season 4, who knows? Because right now our current team is a giant-ass robot man, an elastic woman that can pretty much fairly use her powers to a certain extent, a brand new negative man, and 2 people who really, one who could turn to a bird and one who just has very limited personalities. What are the aspects of a superhero fight there? I don't know. I'm just saying, like, if Doom Patrol could do anything, they could do this. I just want to see one. Finally, it's been long enough. I need to have a proper final battle. Hopefully that we'll get. But the story this season, I would like it to be rebirth. That they're trying to still struggle with accepting who they are now. But when anything of mental diseases or mental traumas has happened, it is not simple as like, I want to be a superhero and I'm forgetting everything. No, I want to see them trying to struggle to keep this new status quo. I want them to try and not fight to fall back. That's what I want, and hopefully they'll get to achieve that. And again, like I said before, with every video I've ever produced for What's in the 2, the writers know better than me. I'm not a writer. Even George is a writer, and I respect him more. I trust him more, like, to do that certain things. Don't trust me. This is what I would personally like to see. But sometimes what I want to see is not what the story needs. It could be just something else. So that's where I hope we get it by. But on to the actual characters and what I want to see them personally, each by the duration of whatever season 4 is, and then also what we see at the end of it. Last season focused a lot on Rita, as, like, for me, I really didn't like it when well, I didn't like it that Rita was kind of in the backbone of season 2. Like, she was there, but she didn't really contribute much to the main story because everyone else has something to do. So when I was doing the season 3 predictions video, I wanted Rita to kind of take a bigger role in season 3, and we got that. So if I was to continue the trend for season 4, because for me, Larry got the short end of the stick of season 4. Because Jane, Robotman, they have a very similar consistency. They have their moments of like they're kind of the heads because like obviously for me Diana Guerrero is a much more bigger star than any of them, and then Robotman is the comedic relief. He's the one that is the fan favorite, so they're gonna get more of the love. So they're gonna, I'm pretty sure, gonna keep the same consistency. So I don't have to change much there. And Cyborg having such a big transformation this season as well, rivaling Rita. I want Larry to get some love this season, having him kind of take center stage a little bit more, because out of everyone, he's kind of is the OP character right now. He is the strongest character. So, and also dealing with this new negative spirit and him being a father again for the second time. I want to see what where we push Larry to next time, and where does that even go? I don't fucking know, because being a dad to an alien negative spirit, I don't know. It's something new, and again, what they what they're where they're going to come up with that is going to be interesting. But I think Larry definitely needs to kind of. I hope he steps up next season, and hopefully, if any indication of last time goes around, he will. But we'll see how that goes. Madame Rogue. Madame Rogue, I don't know what they're calling her now. Like, I don't know if she's still DeMills or she's Madame Rogue, because the whole time travel thing, it kind of. So they established that doing these transportation methods, at least for now, does prevent them from remembering a lot of things. That every time they go out there to be a hero, they're going to lose their memories, which is also a fascinating concept to explore. Because how do you manage like still remembering all this? And this could also be like a great point of like, what if they had these other adventures, but they just don't remember it, and maybe when they're like writing down everything, it just gets lost in translation. That would be a fun aspect to explore. But again, like the only reason that works is because I think they'll figure out a way to get around it next time, because again, that's a lot of CG, for the time machine aspect and also the giant as Robot Man right now. So, and speaking of which, for Robot Man, that entire concept of the finale was just, I laughed the whole time, because like it's literally like he is the biggest douchebag in the room. I love him so much, and now he's the most giant douchebag in the world. I'm pretty sure they're gonna find a way for him to come back into a normal body next season, because there's absolutely nowhere they're gonna afford the CG for this new Robot Man throughout the entire 10 episode run. It's impossible. Otherwise, we will never get that final battle. And whatever villain is gonna be for season 4, it's not gonna have a good special effects budget. So they will probably try to like get the body back from the evil brain. I forgot his name. I'll ask George again, but I'm pretty sure I'll forget until next time. They'll probably find a way to get it back just to have that consistency, or well, whatever they chose to do. I'm gonna imagine Cliff is gonna still deal with his Parkinson's. He's still gonna like go back to a smaller body, and then like how do we explore that? How do we get him to like, he's changed, but there's always the ability to like relapse. That's still a concept with people that have similar problems to Cliff. So that's what I want to see. And again, of course, Cliff is going to probably still be the comedic relief. He's still going to be the best character of the show, going for a 4th season. That's where I see it. And Brendan Fraser can do no wrong. It would be, again, Doom Patrol is a very intriguing concept, so I still wouldn't imagine. I wouldn't be out on the table if like we get Brendan Fraser full time, because whenever you get to see Brendan Fraser on set again and you get to see him like on camera, he's just amazing. From when I first saw him in 2004 from Looney Tunes back in action to now, 15 years removed, it's still a blast to see him. He's always a delight. So hopefully we'll get to see more of the human Cliff next season as well. Somehow they're gonna write it in. Cyborg is in an interesting position as well, removing the cybernetics. I wonder what he's going to really do, because in the season 3 finale, he couldn't really do that much because he doesn't have his powers. The most he could do is that I'm a runner. I can sprint. I can catch up, but he can't really help. Does he just be evacuation support? Does he get his powers back? Who knows? Because it also could just be a cost-saving measure to like, okay, we don't have to afford the makeup anymore for the time being. We can start to like save up a little time. I don't know what the reasons is. I do imagine him going back to being Cyborg at some point in the future. I think it's impossible not to, considering that once they go up against bigger threats, they're going to need more firepower. And considering the fact that two members of the team is not really the best in combat, you're going to need all hands on deck. So I would imagine, and this is also a way to like continue Cyborg's story with Val, is that Val got like a lot of the back burner in season 3. It could be because of COVID, could just because they didn't really have much for her to do this season, or it was just hard to fit her in at a certain point. I would imagine they write Val back in to kind of like help him figure out like this is kind of what you need to do to kind of like get back to it, to maybe see that the cybernetics were something that I just have to make sure we're recording as well, that is worth it, that it's not going to make you any different. And hopefully Victor is going to have, well, because right now I can't really call him Cyborg because he's not Cyborg anymore. He's just Victor Stone again. And also seeing Phil Demar, I forgot the actor's name, but hopefully we'll see him again plenty more times in this last season. He just popped in like almost every episode, so I wouldn't be surprised if they promoted the series regular, because they're going to need more weapons, they're going to need more firepower, so get that Star Labs relationship going again. Finally, after 3 seasons of being confused as fuck about the whole Jane and Kay and the personality situation, I finally have a very light grasp on how the heck that relationship works. And season 3 did an amazing job kind of like simplifying it for me, bringing in for new fans. Like, it finally clicked for me. Season 4 leaves things open as you have this new lead personality, a new charge. And obviously Diana Guerrero is still going to play the character, since in a sense Jane is kind of like what a future Kay would look like. So she's going to still be the same. And again, Diana Guerrero has done such a great job with so many of the personalities we've seen so far that I want to see more personalities of players, especially this new personality, to kind of take the charge, because like everyone has their own different leadership style, everyone has their own direction of taking charge. And for this new one, I don't think she'll end up being the main threat in the season, but I think she'll definitely like be yet another mental challenge for Jane and Kay to go through, as Kay is slowly beginning to like kind of rise up to finally maturing, finally growing up, but Jane still has to like really fight for, doing what's best for Kay, and something that is meaning like being let go of the situation of being controlling. So that's what I hope I see. And lastly, for Rita, and I forgot about Madame Roger or DeMille. I'm going to call her DeMille because I don't think she's going to be much of a villain anymore. I really hope they don't backtrack their relationship this season coming up. Season 3 left them in a good position where like they are aware they're going to reboot so many times, but I don't think Rita is ever going to let go of what DeMille did when she was in the past with them. I don't think that's ever going to go away. And I want them to develop their relationship as like, this is something akin, like, and this is the only time I'll mention this because I'm still so lost on this with The Walking Dead right now, with the current status of Negan and Maggie's relationship. Because obviously, spoilers for Walking Dead, if you haven't seen it by this point, I'm pretty sure everyone saw the big season 7 moment. Negan killed her husband. She killed the love of her life. And, when now you're going into like years later, seasons later, where they need to work with each other, it is something that it is next to impossible to establish a working relationship. You kind of have to, given the circumstances, but that's kind of something similar that I want to see from DeMille and Rita as they continue their stories. That DeMille being rebooted kind of like gives her negative personality a bit of like a push, kind of let the real nurturing one take over. But eventually she's got to realize that I made this terrible mistake. I cost this woman the love of her life. It's not something that Rita's going to forget. It's not something that DeMille is going to forget. And now they're being on the same team and doing these missions. Obviously when you see all these superhero teams, like, you got to imagine they need to have a certain level of trust for each other. Because not only do they have to save people, do they have to defeat the villain, they also have to work together. And to properly work together, you need to have this certain build of trust. And for them, that's what I want to see. Like, obviously, I think they're going to take a little bit of a back step from, like, they're out front and center, like kind of take like one step back, but that's what I would personally like to see. I just need to see that line through of like, we're going to have issues, we're going to have these arguments, we're going to have these also moral decisions, because regardless of how DeMille is right now, she still has her own way of approaching a situation. Same with Rita. Rita is, for me, the de facto leader of the Doom Patrol. because she is the one chosen by now, but also she's the one who's been through a lot, and she's kind of the more mature one, and she's still trying to find her footing as the leader. You'd imagine Cyborg would be the leader because he was the one with the superpowers. He isn't. He's still got his own shit to work through. Robot Man, he looks like the most physical threat, still has his own mental shit to go through. Jane, I don't even want to imagine, but but they're developing up to the point where like they could accept being on a team, but they still have so much more room to grow and to mature and to fix their problems, because like it's not 100% fixed. But they made that major step in season 3 to kind of get to the point where it's like they're coming full circle to what Niles wanted them to be, and now to what they have to be for the world. Because for my imagining, there is no Justice League, no Justice Society, no Outsider, no Young Justice. There's no team out there to kind of help save the world. It's up to the Doom Patrol, whether we like it or not. And that's kind of how we're going to have to accept it, and how the world's going to accept it as. These are our heroes. They're going to make a lot of mistakes along the way, because if they took so long to get their shit together and to actually realize what their purpose is, now it's on the question of, I have to make sure the mic levels were fine. Can they do this? Will the world accept them? And that's where we go from there. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say on the matter. I think that's kind of where I hope things will be for season 4. Any other cool things that I would personally like to see is, of course, I love Alan Tudyk a lot. I would love to see Mr. Nobody make an appearance. I personally don't. I would think you would say that to the very end of the show, but it would be fun to see him again, because it's been a while. It's been 2 seasons, but if I don't mind. I would also like to see Dorothy come back for an episode, maybe tie in the Dead Boy show, because I don't know if she's still going to be on the show, because I know, like, apparently I heard a rumor that, yeah, they've recast everyone. Sadly the fan support didn't help. They're recasting with a whole new cast. I really hope that Dorothy is still the through line for future crossovers, should the shows be successful enough to have that moment. But it would be nice for Dorothy to come back in and pop in and see where things are going up. Kind of like how the Arrowverse on the CW have still been doing it like back in the day. Not really now because of the COVID pandemic and such limiting things. But when Flash would show up on Arrow, or Arrow shows up on Flash, like they get kind of a little bit shell shocked at where things have developed for that team, for that show, because like they're not there every week to like kind of see the progress and change. That would be interesting for me, as well as to keep tying into the Cauldron side of things, because for me again, everything now is kind of like established and kind of connected with them. I'm going to be thinking less of a presence in season 4, as they're trying to start to move away from that. You'll still get the connections, like Crowley's character coming in for an appearance. I think you'll still get that. Hopefully not more of the butt people. I really don't want to see them anymore. They were disgusting. But you're still going to get this connection, so I think Dorothy would be a nice through line to like where they started and where they are now. But that would be, for me, nice to see. Other than that, yeah, I think they're in good hands. I think season 4 is in a very good place for them to continue this amazing story, and I can't wait to see what hopefully could be the best season to come. We'll see. But season 4 is a long ways away. But this has wrapped our Doom Patrol season 3 coverage for 2021. It's been a lot of fun. We get to talk about Doom Patrol all over again for another year. It's been a blast. Thank you so much for joining me along the ride. If you have been joining us since the very start back in September, it's been fun. Been a lot of fun. It will be a long time before we see each other again if you're only a Doom Patrol fan. It will be, who knows, could be the very end of next year, could be the start of the year after that. We don't know, but I will say our Doom Patrol reviews will return in the future. It will be quite a bit of time, but we will return. But I can't wait for that day. But hopefully you've just needed me enough for the last 12 weeks of content that you will hopefully see me go on to do other stuff on What's Up the Tube, because right now we are doing our Walker episode reviews, our Nancy Drew episode reviews, and our rookie reviews. Hopefully that entices you enough to go watch and support us there. But I believe for now that's going to do it for me, everyone. So if you don't know what, this has been What's Up the Tube from ActionX, giving our predictions on the upcoming 4th season of Doom Patrol. If you don't care about Doom Patrol, we'll see you all in the near future, but hopefully again you'll check us out on our other works, on our other review series here on What's Up the Tube, that we're producing for the remaining time period of the year and for the year to come. So please subscribe to us on youtube.com/actionxvideos. Ring that bell for notification when our next episode review is live, which was for us for a while, but this wraps up our coverage for it. Please also like, favorite, share this predictions video if you want to, but it helps us get it out to other members of the fan patrol who have yet to discover it. Helps us beat up the YouTube algorithm that hates me ever so much in life, and as well as sharing for free here on the interweb. And please also follow us on social media to stay up to date with any sort of updates for the channel that we may have. But if you don't care about Doom Patrol, thank you so much for joining me on this journey. We'll see you on for the next one in hopefully the next year. But if you're sticking around, I'll see you all soon. But until then, for all of you out there, stay safe out there. Be good to each other. And as always, peace out. I have to do one crazy thing before the show ends.